they eat.
Okay, we're in business, Dave. All right, thanks again.
Miracle. Right.
Anyway,
So,
Okay, is everybody's microphone on?
yep.
All right, we have a quorum, so we're going to get started at 5 minutes after 6. And my name is Jim Bray. I'm the chair of the Environmental Commission in Lower Makefield Township, and I am officially opening the EAC meeting for August 14th, 2025. First item on the agenda is review approval of July 10th, 2025 meeting minutes. We took a look at that, made some minor changes, and then sent them out to everybody. And I assume everybody's had a chance to look at them. And if there's no questions or changes, I would like a motion to pass our minutes.
So moved.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so be it. The minutes have passed. The next item on the agenda is the 2024 Long Range Master Tree Plan. Now, where it stands right now is we originally had 142 trees that were going to be planted at various areas in the township. And this was a plan that the EAC worked with township management to create. Now, there's been a little change, or I should say, in addition, the board thought it was prudent to remove the highly invasive Bradford pears that line the front, or actually diagonally line the front of the admin building. So about a month ago, these trees were taken down, removed, and the stumps ground. So, of course, now they want to replace those trees. And the township manager and the community development manager asked the EAC to get involved. So I attended a meeting, and the idea was to come up with a tree replacement. And what I did is I offered several options, based upon, my experience with planting trees, and also at Bowman's Hill Wildflower Preserve. And the catch-all here is that this is literally, these plants are like a flagship to the administration building. So we wanted to make sure that we had something that was really, really beautiful, long-lasting, and was very, very tolerant of various weather and soil conditions. So after I made several proposals, and what we ended up with was the classic red maple, but a cultivar called Red Sunset. And we already have this cultivar, red maple cultivar, in front of the administration building. This was the choice for our first Arbor Day celebration in 2024. So there were several reasons for selecting this tree. The fall color is incredibly beautiful. It's kind of a continuation of the tree that we already have planted out there. Maple is essentially an all-American tree. I mean, it's similar, I guess, to mom's apple pie, if you know what I mean. And they're tolerant of various soil conditions. I always tell people that if they can't grow a red maple, they should hang up their garden trowel, okay? And they're long-lasting trees. They last, a couple of hundred years. And they get about 60, 70 feet, which is, I think, ideal for this situation. The other thing is that what I suggested is they plant them about 30 foot apart, because then in about 15 years, you start getting them to touch a little. And then eventually, over time, they start knitting together a little and form really a formal alley of trees that's absolutely gorgeous. So that was our choice. But what the board asked us to do is, since this is going to be presented to the Board of Supervisors, to make sure that the EAC passed a motion to select this tree. And as soon as that's done, they will prepare quotes to go out for various landscape entities to get quotes for this fall planting, which will probably commence, I'm thinking, maybe sometime mid-October. So are we all in agreement with that selection?
So moved.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So the motion is passed, and what I will do is prepare just a very short document and send it to the township manager and Jim Majewski, the community development director.
How many additional trees would that be, Jim?
This will be, well, there were 11 that were taken down, but when Jim and I walked it, I told him, I think there's room for 13.
Oh,
So, but the only thing is, every once in a while, they find out, and Jim's good at this, before we plant, that there's some kind of an electric line going through. So the plan is we will go with 13 if there's no obstructions like that. So,
Do we have a date, a tentative date? Not.
well, no, the planning date generally, you can get even into November a little. October 15th to November 1st is probably
Okay,
pretty ideal. Or let's say that October 15th to November 15th is kind of
optimal.
ideal.
Yeah. Ah,
Okay.
quorum and a half.
Sorry, fellas, but we did not wait for you. Okay, no offense intended.
Yeah.
But
Show must go on.
yeah.
I can just basically iterate what we've done so far. We reviewed the July 10th minutes and passed them. And we just finished talking about the long-range master tree plan, about the Bradford pears that were cut down, and 13 trees are going to be added to the total.
Yep.
And that the township manager and Jim Majewski asked the EAC for a document stating that the EAC thought this was a good idea and approved the selection of the red sunset maple. So that's all been done. And what I'll do tomorrow is I'll send a small note to Jim Majewski and Dave Kratzer stating that, Jim said it's not probably not necessary, but when they approach the board, because the board has to approve the money, even though the money's there, the original plan called for October glory maple, and that's a good choice too. But the red sunset, I think in this case, is a little better because of the continuity with the red maple that's already in the front of the admin building.
You mentioned a change in the tree bank ordinance to allow the funds to be used for bushes, shrubs.
No, we haven't talked about that yet. Okay, so I'm not sure. If it's not on the agenda, we will put it in odds and ends. Okay, that also took care of item 3 as well. Okay, EAC Event Signs. I just received a call from Fast Signs, and probably tomorrow I'm going to pick up 10 signs for various events that we hold throughout the year. I think our presentations, without doubt, are always high quality, and I think the signage should reflect that. Not something written in black ink by Jim Bray and
Or me.
shoved into the ground, which generally the spelling is pretty good though, but I think we can do better. So I'm going to pick up these signs. I already cleared it with Dave, and the total bill for these 10 signs will be, I think, $270. And what we have is one that says EAC event, and then we have a Bird Town, PA event, event parking, and that sort of thing. So I tried to come up with signs. Actually, I only wanted 8 signs, but she told me that if we select 10 and pay for 10, it's cheaper than 8. So, so we got 10. All right. Any questions or comments on that?
Where's that Fast Signs location?
Pardon?
Where's the Fast Signs
Oh,
location?
they're located in Fairless Hills.
Okay.
Okay, next to, what's over there? I'm trying to think.
I have him.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's a big center over there with a big food store and everything. So anyway, so we took care of that. All right, recycling. Oh, I got one that says EAC recycling event.
Great.
You know, so- And that's the only one I put the time on because the others I'm not, sure. Uh, Okay. So that's scheduled for November 1st, 2025.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the next cycling, we'll start publicizing it next month, maybe send out the newsletter.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Dominique, Paul's our newsletter guy. Dominique is our publicist. So anyway,
I was gonna bring some flyers to Harvest Day and hand them out there.
okay. So Alan, why don't you work with Dominique on that? Okay.
You
With,
have flyers?
No,
Okay,
Nope.
just like the other ones, different date, but. I'll
Okay.
send it to you.
okay.
Send
Oh,
it to
you
me
have
too,
the
please.
new one already then? You have the new one already for November 1st?
Yeah, takes like 30 seconds.
Okay, so you don't have it ready, but you can have it in 30 seconds. Okay, all right. Okay, so that takes care of that. I was hoping our liaison, John, was here. But
Oh, An event he was at, Judy was at too, and a whole lot of people were at Adrian Costello's stuff.
oh yeah, that's around the corner from us.
Yeah.
Right.
So what did you, we talked a little bit about open.
Well, we're not there yet, but I'm concerned. This item is the chicken ordinance. Yeah, and that thing keeps hanging and hanging, it's, personally, it's not a super high priority item, but, a lot of other municipalities have them. And Kevin Trieber was the one who pushed this initially. So what I would hope for in the near future is that the board brings it up as an agenda item at their meeting. And John Lewis, of course, will be there, Kevin Traber, and a representative from the EAC, and I wouldn't mind going, or anybody else who wants to go. So I'm going to call John about that, I'll give him a phone call and, see what he wants to do. Any other thoughts on that?
Oh, Dan.
Yeah, well, John's our liaison. That's the only reason I thought about that. Now, our next door neighbor lives in a very huge house, and she brought another chicken coop. She was into it for a while, but then they gave up on it, but now they started doing it again. And this chicken coop is almost ready to live in. I've never seen anything as palatial. So a lot of lucky chickens, okay? And we're right next door to them, but the properties are fairly large. Occasionally we hear it, but it's really nothing objectionable. But then again, we just came back from Vermont, and I thought that one farm had gotten rid of its roosters, but it don't. And early in the morning, that sound is unmistakable. Okay, that's the best I can put it. So anyway, I'll talk to John about that and see what he wants to do. All right, Bird Town, PA, group discussion. There's two items that we're, working on right now. Jean, you want to talk about those two items?
Yes. We had a date for a bird lecture with a young woman who knows a great deal about birds, but that is now hanging. We don't know when we're going to be doing it. And the other one was a children's program. And we're working on that too, that we haven't done much with children's programs, and I'd like to get something maybe with the library or some other collaboration. And the third thing we're working on is we have now three bird boxes from the Pennsylvania Game Commission, and they need to be there for prothonotary warblers And they need to be planted by the canal, maybe in the next week or so.
Yeah.
Yo,
Sunday.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about that, but, so that's, most of what's going on at the moment.
All right, I just might add too that one of the collaborations we're looking into is Bowman's Hill Wildflower Preserve. And I think that's really a natural. In their meeting room, the whole one side is glass and it's filled with bird feeders outside. And we talked to the education coordinator, Santino Lauricella, and he seems to be excited to come up with some kind of a collaboration. So what we're thinking is maybe you get 20 or 30 children in that big room. They can look out at the feeders all the time, and then performing some kind of a project, some kind of a environmental project involving birds. So Gene and Patty Kleiner are working on that, and they're pretty excited about it.
Was Bird Town going to have another table at Harvest Day?
Yes,
They are?
yes,
Okay,
Table.
yes,
all right.
that's not in here, but.
Well,
yeah.
we'll put it in. That'll be item D is Bird Town table Harvest Day,
And that's what date? September
21st, isn't it?
20th?
20th,
24th?
20th, I think.
Come on, you know, any?
Well, September 13th, I know is
Figure it out.
September 13th is a Saturday, so I'm really good at math, okay? So 13 and 7 is 20.
All right.
It is, it's the 20th, and it's, yeah. Right.
All right,
We will also, we're actually sharing, Yardley Borough's table.
You're the EAC.
Yardley Bird Town.
Yardley Bird Town.
Oh, okay.
okay. All right, unless there's no more comments on that, we'll move to number 8, open space. Status of Lower Makefield Township's proposal to create a native plant meadow in the 5-acre open space area bordering the Regency Development. Now, I attended another meeting, I guess it was a couple of weeks ago. And the gist of that meeting is that, the residents, especially the ones who border that area, are not in favor of the creation of a meadow, but they came back with some interesting information. According to Lower Makefield Township, the maintenance cost to take care of that parcel for a year is about $9,000. So, and again, the maintenance department, figured if we could turn that into a meadow, it would certainly cut down on the time needed to perform that work. And their workload is really, really heavy. I mean, we could probably use a couple of more people, but that's a whole different other story. But one of the residents suggested going to Autumn Landscaping, which is a landscaping business close by, and they checked with them, and Autumn Landscaping basically said that we might be able to do all that maintenance for around $8,800 and maybe even more, all the mulching. What they would want is it brought up to a specific standard first. So that's basically where the meeting ended, okay? And I assume, going to meet again, and the township is going to make some kind of a decision whether they want to move forward with the meadow concept or maybe look into this other plan. So, but that's where it stands right now.
And who would be paying for that?
Pardon?
Who would be paying for that?
Oh, this is, if it's $8,800, the township would be paying for it. It's costing us $9,000 right now.
Okay.
So if we contract with Autumn Landscaping, we would be paying them $8,800.
Yeah, they
Right.
gave the property to the township as part of the agreement.
Yeah.
You can see. So it's township open space right now.
Is there, since it would be a independent company outside of the township, do we need to competitively bid that? With the
No,
threshold
you only
for-
have to do competitive bidding, I think, after about $20,000.
Okay.
I think that's the threshold.
Sorry. I have a question about that
Sure.
subject. This letter from Fitzpatrick, wasn't it referring to that area?
It was referring to the area
Next
indirectly,
door.
and maybe we'll pick, that's a good, did I have anything in here about that?
I didn't see that.
I do.
Okay, let's talk about that in odds and ends, okay? Fitz letter. Because I have some info on that, and I think Alan does too. All right, land use reviews, status of the Dogwood Drive development letter. Alan?
Still trying to find out whether there is a sewer hookup moratorium in the township, which I haven't heard of. And I talked to Yardley Borough Sewer Authority and they hadn't heard of. But Jim Majewski seems to think there might be. So I sent that letter and a follow-up email, and I've been trying to talk to our solicitor, Maureen,
Clark.
not Clark,
Is it Clark? Or,
no, it,
okay.
I have it somewhere. Carlton.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you're
Yeah,
right. Maureen.
Carlton. I tried to reach her Wednesday, and she wasn't in the office, and I was too busy today, but tomorrow we're gonna get an answer. I'm gonna try calling her, and I'm gonna come in and talk to Jim. Because if there isn't one, then there's no reason not to impose this time limit on them and have them resubmit a new preliminary plan that complies with our ordinances today, not back in 2006, which is what they're complying with now.
Yep. Alan's really done a good detective job on this project. Essentially, what we're talking about is that for about, I guess, the last 12 years or so, developments have taken place in this, and you need an approval, I guess, from the Yardley Sewer
Yeah.
project people, and they've always given the approval. So the developer now is stating that the 5-year limitation doesn't apply to him.
No,
After 5 years, you have to have new plans.
the developer hasn't weighed in on this yet. I don't know if they even know about it.
Oh,
The developer.
yeah, but I thought, it was my understanding that the developer said that the 5-year the 5-year limitation doesn't apply because there was a moratorium.
No, Jim Majewski's saying that.
Jim Majewski said that. Okay, I stand corrected.
Yeah.
All right, so that's, that's the deal. If it is an official moratorium, then the 5-year limitation on developer plans can be extended.
Yeah,
If not,
the clock stops.
right. But from what Alan has uncovered, it looks like, quite frankly, that there isn't any moratorium, but we'll find out. So thanks again.
Yeah. Yeah. The different parts of the township are controlled by different sewer authorities. Like about 30% of the township's Yardley Borough, a lot of the township's Morrisville, and
That's mine.
yeah, and then some of it's the northern end, like where all the new developments are, like Wright Farm. That's Neshaminy.
That's Shaman?
Yeah.
What about Essential Services, which was American Aqua America or whatever?
Didn't they buy our sewer?
Yeah, they bought the sewer.
Yeah,
too.
but they don't control the hookups.
Ah.
They just operate the system. Yeah.
Hmm.
So,
Okay, all right. Unless there's any more comments, we'll move on to the next one, which is the proposed single-use plastics ban. And Dominique has been doing some work on that. So Dominique, why don't you talk about what you've been up to lately?
Right, well, I just have contacted the Penn Environment leader on the, for the presentation on November the 8th. So that's Farron Savitz. So he confirmed that he could come and talk to everybody. So it's going to be a public meeting, I believe. And we are going to invite the supervisors too. And then 2 ladies from Newtown Township, Ellen Snyder, who is the president of the Board of Supervisors, and then Elaine McCarron, who is worked for the EAC, are willing to come to address questions and talk about the success of the project in Newtown Township. That's it. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Well, I was really excited about this because Ellen Snyder and Elaine McCarron are good friends, and they were literally the ones that brought the single-use plastics ban ordinance to Newtown Township. And they did a lot of work, you know, before that was actually presented. And so I think having these people at our meeting, which is essentially an information seminar, is really, really going to be important. So, and I was just delighted that they are taking the time to come. The other thing is, I will talk to you later about this too, Dominique. I mean, you've got this super list now that you've created for my gibberish. And, but there's one other thing too. I'm going to talk to Monica Tierney because Monica told me that she has a list of something like 4,000, 5,000 names on it. So, and I think she would be willing, you know, to let us use the list for certain projects like this.
I sent her what we have to communicate.
Okay, all right.
She's on my list.
Okay, good, good. And I'm going to talk to her personally though about, because that list, I think it's not something that she can open up to all things, but we'll find out. All right. Thanks again, you know, Dominique, nice job. All right. Next item on the agenda is Kevin, the info on the RF 100 program. Do you have some information for us on that, Kevin?
Yeah, so this was something I looked into a few years ago and went to a bunch of meetings. It's Sierra Club's Ready for 100 initiative to move towards renewable fuels. And I was a little confused. I thought that Sierra Club had stopped the Ready for 100 program, so I didn't bother to do a draft resolution. But it sounds like they are still promoting it, so I can get a draft resolution done by next month.
Okay. Now, I have actually a little extra information on that too. Lower Makefield Township is a member of the Cool Cities. And we signed an agreement, I'm not sure how binding it is, but about 12 years ago, and with the Sierra Club. And what we did, even as part of that, is we had a comprehensive energy audit of this building. And as a result, we made a lot of different changes based upon the lighting and the heating and auto lights on in bathrooms and that sort of thing. But then Sierra Club kind of faded into the distance, and I'm not sure exactly what happened, but I don't know whether they lost interest in the program or they were just on the wayside, and this is like, the RF 100 is like a resurrection of the program. I'm not sure. But anyway, what I'll do, Kevin, is I will send you a copy of the resolution that Lower Makefield signed about 10 or 12 years ago. And this was a pretty big deal at the time. I chaired the committee and we were meeting for almost a year with a whole bunch of people outside the EAC as well as people with the EAC. I think Paul was part of those meetings too, if I remember correctly. So it's interesting that this is cropping up again, but let me send that to you and maybe next meeting you can give us an evaluation as to what you think.
Okay. I think I already drafted a resolution and presented it, but I needed to tweak it. So I think I'm pretty much done. I just need to revisit it.
Okay.
Yep. I went with Penn Environment and the Sierra Club to Harrisburg about 5 years ago on that. And that was like the last time I heard anything about it. And we spent the whole day there and pulled Perry Warren off the floor of the house to talk about it.
Hey, can I ask Kevin a question? You're our energy guy. Are there grants to municipalities to install like a level 3 electric car charger on the grounds? I mean,
I know there used to be. You're talking
Yeah.
about the DC fast charging?
yeah, the fast
I
ones.
think
'Cause-
there was. I haven't checked in a while. I don't know what's current.
Yeah, I might look into that because, I mean, if we could get a grant for that, that would have it around here that, you know, hopefully the township would buy some electric cars with that there and charge them, and then have it open to the public for a few hours every day.
Yeah, that's
like
one
a-
of, that was one of the items that I spoke with Jim and Dan about.
Yeah, what they,
I had a big meeting with them about a bunch of things. I think these are gonna all be looked at by the shared energy manager
uh-huh.
that the DEP is working with them on.
All right, because, yeah, that'd be a good thing to push, I think. Yeah.
Maybe you could look into that and.
Yeah.
give
And
us
I'll
some
help
report
if-
Next meeting.
Whatever you need.
Yeah, I spoke to, regarding the shared energy manager program, I spoke to Dan this afternoon and he still hasn't heard anything from them.
Okay.
So I don't really know.
Dan,
McLuhan from the planning.
all right. And then somebody mentioned we should have a bicycle rack in front of the building somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's.
There's one over at the library, but they were saying people came here and they had to park way over there. And that would be a fairly cheap, we could probably buy that with our budget.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
You know,
sure.
I just.
Nothing
Gotta Call
elaborate.
into Katie to find out how much of our budget is left, and I think it's well over 2,000, I'm
Yeah.
not sure. Yeah, that's a cool idea, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
And me being a big biker has nothing to do.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no conflict at all there, okay, so,
Mm.
EAC funds.
Did we skip over the land use item?
No, that was the Dogwood Drive development
Yeah.
letter. They're actually zoning hearing board's gonna hear case, it's the church down here. You go to the second roundabout, I think it's Scholler, what's that road that runs into Edgewood? Scholler something?
Oh, Skylar?
Skylar, yeah. Okay, there's a small Jewish Orthodox church there right now. It's in that house. You wouldn't know it. But it's there, but they want to expand quite a bit. They want to, I looked at it. It'd be a 14,000 plus square foot building that could hold 168 seats. 61 parking spots for that. They also want to have a daycare, nursery school, and kindergarten in there. And that might be more parking spots. So they're coming before the zoning board next week, I think the 19th.
That'd be a lot of traffic at that restaurant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it would be on a Friday too. It wouldn't be on a Sunday morning. And yeah, it just seems like a traffic nightmare. Like, just be aware, they don't have any plans in yet to the township to build. They're just getting their variances now. And a lot of them are setbacks. They do want to cut down an extra half acre of woodlands, increase the impervious surface allowed. So, yeah, something we'll be watching.
Yeah, okay, all right,
They
thanks.
they don't have a concept plan or anything?
Well, this is what they have for the, here's the circle right here.
Okay.
See, I don't know how much, it looks like a fairly small lot there though, but maybe it goes back further.
Yeah, it goes back and kind of around the house that's next to it. It's a very weird property.
Oh, okay.
And Brock Creek runs by it.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's all sorts of issues with that. They're trying to push it all up front, but that's a lot of parking.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, before we go on the next agenda item, I've been remiss. We have somebody attending our meeting tonight, and would you like to get on the microphone just for a second? Generally, if I had half a memory left, what I would do is introduce you
button.
right in the beginning of the meeting. But anyway, what's your name and why are you here tonight?
Hi everyone, I'm Jasper Bly. I'm a rising senior in high school, and I recently was able to meet with David Kratzer as part of an Eagle Scout thing, and as a part of a Boy Scout thing, and interview him about just some things. I talked to him about the water quality in the area of tap water and stuff like that. And after that conversation, I was, interested, and I was like, what sort of environmental things do we have, in the township level? So I emailed LMT and I was like, are these meetings open to the public? And she was like, yes, they are. So here I am now.
Okay.
And
Great.
yeah, I was able to do some cool stuff with my school, research opportunities with like freshwater ecology this summer. And I was able to go to the Stroud Research Center that's like, it's in Westchester. And I was able to do a lot of cool freshwater ecology things and like study like different patterns and chemical stuff in the streams. And yeah, I was just kind of curious to come here and see what you guys talk about. Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you for coming here. And what's your name so we can make sure we get it right in the minutes?
I'm Jasper, Jasper. Last name is Bligh, Bligh.
Bligh.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm from Yardley. Yeah.
From Lower Makefield or the borough or?
Yeah, yeah, I'm from Yardley. I live like off River Road, like in one of those neighborhoods, like in between like River Road and Black Rock Road.
Okay, all right.
You're
Your borough
LMT.
township. I don't-
It's LMT.
LMT, yeah.
LMT. All right, that sounds good.
I know.
Yeah, I myself, actually, and my wife, we have some experience with Stroud Research Center. And in my humble opinion, I think it's one of the best organizations I've ever, been affiliated with. And they actually have programs there that we participated in to count the macroinvertebrates in a stream and classify them. And that's a key to the healthy water in the stream. So, I mean, if you're interested in that kind of stuff, it's really fascinating.
Yeah, I was able to do that thing with we like went on canoes down, I forget what the stream is down there, the river. But yeah, we did the macroinvertebrate counting, and but for my school, as part of a study thing we're doing, I'm doing like a big research poster with my friend, and we're going to be talking about the macroinvertebrates we counted there and kind of how that relates to everything.
Oh, well, good. Well, look, thank you very much for attending tonight.
Of course.
Yeah.
And you're welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting. And before we end, if you want to make any more comments, just let us know.
Sure, I'd love to
All
hang
right.
out.
And
Again, thanks for coming.
And the minutes of our meetings are on our website. If you want to go to the township website, each meeting, Gene writes up some fabulous minutes, and you can see what we talk about.
All right. Am I good to sit here still, or should I like
Wherever you want.
Wherever, whatever the spirit moves you.
I'll sit here?
Okay. All right. Thanks again, Jasper. The lecture series,
The comment,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
sorry, an
Cynthia, please.
afterthought. No, I was just wondering, we did talk about monitoring macroinvertebrates before we did the tree planting on Patterson Farm. So I know that the streams in Lower Makefield themselves are, we are not polluted, but since we are upstream of the Neshaminy Creek, I think we are designated as, we have a certain designation which requires monitoring. So I was just wondering if at the school level there is interest. I know we don't have a serious pollution problem, but if you want to set up some benchmark status on macroinvertebrates on the streams flowing in our area. And I know that Monica, she's the Parks and Rec director here. She has been interested in doing what do you call, summer program activities for kids on specifically this thing at the township. So there are certain possibilities that I don't know if the school, how are you doing it, through the environmental science class or?
Yeah, I don't go to Pennsbury. I go to a boarding school, but yeah.
Okay, okay.
I was chosen for like a research seminar thing over the summer.
Okay, okay. So these discussions have happened in the township. So in case you're interested in picking up, something might be possible then.
Okay, sure. Thank you. I'll write that down on my phone.
All right. All right. Thanks for your comments, Sumya. All right. EAC lecture series. The EAC per se does not have one schedule, but Bird Town has a couple of things. And, we're just one big happy family. So the EAC does something, Bird Town gets credit, vice versa. But Kevin brought up an interesting point. One possibility is a lecture on the environmental issues associated with fast fashion. It's kind of an interesting topic. I think we might be willing to, if we could get somebody who's kind of an expert in the field who would want to come out and talk to us about it. We could have a lecture. We have plenty of time left in the year. We also have a budget so we could pay an honorarium. So maybe, why don't you look into that, Kevin, and by next meeting, you have some, or if you see something even before, let me know and I maybe, or if you see something, find out if somebody's willing to come, okay?
Okay,
And
yeah, I'll take a look.
possibly they give you some dates. I think I read a little about it and it's fascinating, the things that are basically thrown away as far as fast fashion is concerned. It's like zip, zip, get rid of, So anyway, a brand new topic that I knew very little about. So thank you for bringing it to our
You're
attention.
welcome.
All right. Okay, updated publicity list, Dominique. I know you were working with some of the HOAs to see if you could talk at least maybe to the manager and they would disseminate the info or maybe even get some of their lists, but where does that stand?
Not very far for the moment. I've tried to, I was told that Jim Majewski was the person to talk to. So I've written to him again and still no answer. So I think I'll go back to the office and check who would have a list. Alan, would you?
Well, you just look for contacts at each one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can get you the contact at Brookstone.
Brookstone, okay. So we only have 19 more to go. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know, I guess John, when he was here, our liaison last meeting, he had said something about the number of HOAs. And, I think 20 might be low. I have no
Really?
idea how many are in the township. But,
That's
all right.
fine. Yeah.
Well, what I was also to suggest is phoning Jim, okay? Calling him or just like Alan and I do, just.
We just come
go up
in.
to the meeting, okay?
He can't
Or you
avoid
go up
us.
to go up to the building and see if he's
Yeah,
available.
that's what I would do. Yeah, yeah.
All right.
I did speak with Jim today just because I happened to be there. He said he's trying to catch up on a lot of things. So maybe
Yeah,
next week if you
was
stop by.
away probably. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
But he answered my first email.
Oh,
and he
okay.
was going
That's
to
good.
look into it. But
I guess, people insist on going for vacations, right? So, well, that's good. Generally, you come back all filled with new energy. At least that's the plan. All right. The EAC and township newsletters. And Paul, you want to discuss some of the recent newsletters?
Well, I'm planning to do one right after Labor Day. And we have a number of topics we can use and talk about, the single-use plastic ban or microplastics lecture we had. We could do an article about that. And also have the flyer for the styrofoam recycling. I was wondering if there's any other topics people are really hot to include.
The November 8th.
that's
Yeah, the seminar.
single use.
Yeah.
That's-
Single, yeah, it's Paul, I think he said something
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
PB.
It's in the bird, but
Yeah.
the,
All right, and by that time, Paul, maybe we'll have,
Mm-hmm.
Gene might have more,
Okay,
dates for the bird lecture.
yeah.
all right.
The problem was the woman committed to a time, but she had some family issues that she had to take care of, which involved travel. So she's ready, willing, and able to do it. We just got to come up with a date.
Okay.
All right, odds and ends. Okay, we have several here. The Fitzpatrick letter,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
So somebody asked if it had to do with the 5-acre open space area owned by Lower Makefield Township. And the answer is indirectly, okay? The problem that we had with the letter, firstly, the council is not anti-development. We just want to make sure
Jim,
that we
uh,
have,
can you give some backstory on the letter, what it is? I haven't seen it.
oh, okay. Yeah, I'll do that in 1 second, okay?
Mm.
We are not an anti-environmental group. We want to make sure that the developers just basically follow the tenets of our ordinance. So what happened, there is a 3.5 acre property on the other edge of the Regency development that's perpendicular to the 5 acres of open space. And it's an area almost nondescript in a sense. It's a long rectangular piece with an old farmhouse that the developer.
There it is.
Take a look at this.
Yeah.
That the developer actually wants to, get rid of. And there's 2 houses next to it that are not in great shape. There's also a truck depot across the way. And then there's a Shell station and a CVS and a bank. So I guess this property was initially in trust, and recently, I guess it was purchased for something like $2 million. And the developer wants to put up 16 townhomes, one after another in a long rectangular fashion. And they submitted plans to the township. And the people in Regency are not in favor of that all because that would border, the backs of their properties.
Yeah,
or-
mainly the ones to the back of it.
Right.
you know.
Yeah, it almost looks like an L like this, okay? Here's the 3.5 acres in Regency, here's the 5 acres
Yeah,
in
you can see the
Regency.
edge of the
So,
space.
the township reviewed this, we also reviewed this. And our contention was that, firstly, and Alan, why don't you talk about that for just a second?
What, the open space?
No, about, the 3.5 acres.
Yeah, where the townhomes, it's down to 15 now, the zoning board.
Right.
Reduced it to 15. They just wanted to, put in those, townhomes and, what was your question?
16 town.
16. Yeah, and the residents didn't want it, and they want us to buy it for open space, the township. And,
Well, they want the township to.
to buy it. I mean, I'm thinking Regency should buy it if, they're the ones. In fact, some of them said the Regency promised them nobody would build back there. And it wasn't even their property. So now there's a big controversy about that. The zoning board was packed and, Brian Fitzpatrick has got involved. I don't know if you've seen these articles in the paper. Suddenly, never has he been involved with township open space, but now this piece, 3 acre piece of property is all interested in, which is kind of strange. But it has a house on it. That's one of the negatives about the property. It's from the late 1700s,
Right.
a really old house. So you don't want to buy open space with structures on it. And I'm sure the price of it would be a lot because it's already got the variances. And so they're pressuring the township to buy it for open space. I can think of a lot of other better places for open space. I mean, environmentally, woods, wetlands, streams, things like that. This is just a grassy field, 3 acre field. So we'll see what happens. They're putting the pressure on, that's for sure. I made you a copy of it. It was in the Philadelphia Inquirer Sunday paper.
So what actually happened, and
So
what
it-
actually,
Bunch.
right, what actually happened is a bit bizarre. So somebody, and we don't know who, but possibly from Regency, which would make sense, has been talking to Congressman Fitzpatrick or one of his associates, and Fitzpatrick picked up the ball, and he is actually asking the United States Environmental Protection Agency to come down here and I guess help Lower Makefield Township with this project.
Well,
So there's also a lot of incorrect statements, okay? Firstly, Brian Fitzpatrick stated in the article that in the south end of Lower Makefield, there's hardly any open space, and this would be a real boon to the residents in that area. Well, if you look at where it's located, it's not going to be a boon. And with a 1/4 mile away, we have 5 Mile Woods that has almost 300 acres of open space. So
Wow.
again, you know, and also, he talked about the stormwater management problems. Well, we have pretty strict stormwater management ordinances in Lower Makefield Township. And especially with our low impact development stormwater management ordinance, the basic premise of that is the water that rains on your property stays on your property. So I'm not sure anybody was going to rebut this argument or not, because, you know, I'm not sure it's worthwhile or not. But spending $2 million for open space for that piece of land that's not very hospitable doesn't make a lot of sense, when recently, I think Alan sent a letter to the board with 6 other suggestions that are considerably less expensive and would be much better used by the people of Lower Makefield Township.
And yeah, I asked him about open space tonight, and he said they are actively pursuing some parcels, so
Okay.
maybe we'll get something eventually.
Yeah, and Fitzpatrick also pointed out that, that Lower Makefield has plenty of money because to purchase this place, because we passed a $15 million bond referendum, which is true, but as Alan just pointed out, and I totally agree, and I think if any of us looked at it, we would all agree, there's a lot better places to spend this money.
Yeah.
Okay, we had, another one, tree removal, Slate Hill Cemetery. Dominique gave me a call not too long ago and said that they're removing trees at Slate Hill Cemetery. I think yeah. Now, I talked to the head of our maintenance department, Derek Fuller, and he said that's being done for, firstly, some of the trees aren't in good shape, and also historical purposes. When you look, this cemetery goes back to the 1600s. It really is a historic venue in Lower Makefield Township. And a lot of these trees grew up after. Yep. This is now or in the past, or, after the tree removal. All right. So, let's just
I used
pass
to
these
live
around.
right across the street.
Alan, you start and we'll just pass them back that way. Have you, all right. So that being said, they did leave the historic Franklinia tree alone. And
They took down the
this tree is in the
So maybe this is it.
northwest
This tree going in my back.
corner of the cemetery.
96.
And
just a
it's
stick.
a very unusual tree. It's
You're an old-
kind of native. What I mean by that is that it has a really interesting history. John Bartram was one of our very early botanists in the United States,
They did take that.
and he discovered this tree in Georgia along the Altamaha River. And what he actually did, botanists, and they never had, any money. So they were always cultivating friendships with rich people. And the way they actually worked with them is they named trees after them. So the name of this tree is Franklinia altamaha, to pay service to Ben Franklin. Very, very interesting, but it's no longer growing in the wild. So the specimens you see have been probably nursery bought or whatever, but it's an interesting plant, has beautiful flowers, but the one in the cemetery is pretty much on its last leg. It has been cabled, and I'm going to take a look at it again. Several years ago, along with one of the supervisors at the time, I guess it was maybe Kristen Tyler, we took some cuttings and seeds, and I sent them to Bowman's Hill Wildflower Preserve, and they were going to try to cultivate, from seedlings, a young tree, but it was not very successful. But that doesn't mean we can't try again. So anyway, interesting history. So that's why the trees are being removed.
Yeah, well, they were very in bad condition.
Yeah.
So
They were
that was-
also,
so did you say they're going to be replaced? No.
no,
No.
they're, because of the historic nature of the cemetery, they were never there in the first place.
Okay.
So, and they were black locusts. And look, I love all trees, but that's a bit down the list. Okay. They have spines that are the sharpest things I've ever seen in nature. And I happened to get several years ago one in my hand, and it was memorable. Okay. So I have my own little prejudice, I guess, toward black locusts. Now I'm just trying to think what else we have in odds and ends. Oh yeah, the bike rack. Why don't we, firstly, we'll find out how much money we have left.
Yeah.
And then I can't think a bike rack would be, a decent bike rack, maybe $400 or $500. I don't know. What does anybody think?
Yeah. You probably only need like 4 slots. I mean.
Yeah, we
you
could put a
don't-
little sign on like some of the businesses do in town,
Yeah.
supplied by the EAC or something like that. So it's good publicity to town and good publicity for us. So,
Right.
and again, the fact that I'm a big bike racker has absolutely nothing to do with this recommendation. Okay.
Is there one in the community center?
Pardon?
Is there a bike rack at the community center? Because I think that was a lead building.
Yeah.
I don't know, but if it's not, we ought to put one.
Yeah,
there, too.
I'll check. I think there is, but I'm not positive.
Right. And my point is that we could just probably get the
Yep.
same one that they have if they have one.
Yeah, we could put one there and in the front of the admin building.
We have the.
I never bothered to look. But I think they do have it.
Yeah, it seems like they do.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
I'm not sure if they do
They're
or
on the
not.
side, yeah.
All right. So you're going to find out about that, Alan?
Yeah, I'll put that on my list.
Okay. Okay, other than that, I don't have any other information. Does anybody else want to talk about anything that's going on or on their mind?
Well, we were gonna modify the tree bank ordinance to
Yeah, I'm
include
glad you brought that up.
shrubs, herbaceous perennials and native ground cover, because we have some of that in the 2024 tree planting plan, some of the locations, so take all the money from the same source.
All right. The issue that Alan's talking about is that when we revised the LID ordinance and the revision we actually called the tree bank ordinance back in 2014, I think all of us are familiar how it works. If a developer cuts down trees and he doesn't want to put them on site, the money it costs to place those trees is placed in a fund called a tree bank. The problem was at the time, we only included trees. And then over the years, we, as far as part of our long-range tree plans, the one in 2016 and 2024, we also called for the planting of herbaceous perennials and shrubs and other items. So at first, we did plant some shrubs, but then after people started looking closer at the tree bank ordinance, they said, look, this should really be revised to make sure that includes shrubs and other perennials like this. So we took a look at it, and Alan made some appropriate word changes, and they were actually sent, I think, to Dave.
Yeah, where's it stand now?
Well, at the meeting, I had that meeting I had with Dave and Derek and Jim Majewski and Monica a couple of weeks ago. We just touched on that. And Dave said that he was going to have the solicitor prepare something and put it in front of the board relatively soon.
All right, well, if I can get a hold of her tomorrow about Dogwood Drive, I'll ask her about this too.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's good. But again, I mean, I think it's a good idea, but what we really refer to is the native plant list as part of the native plant ordinance. And that has about 6 or 7 categories of plants: herbaceous, perennials, vines, grasses, various things like that. And we're actually thinking in the 2026, possibly in the spring or fall, is the creation of a meadow in Memorial Park. And that's pretty exciting, I think, because it would certainly be a new venture for us. And I think I have a personal bias. I think a meadow full of flowers is just one of the most beautiful sights that you could see anywhere. So hopefully, maybe we can recreate something like that in 2026. The plan, the long-range plan actually calls for the creation of a meadow. And that also, depending on how you do it with either plugs or seed, you could have a lot of community involvement in a project like that. So I'm glad you brought that up, Al.
Yeah, I remember we did our first big tree planting many years ago over around the athletic fields. We had a number of shrubs that we planted along with the trees
Right.
during that. And that was really something.
Yeah, well, nobody was, I guess, looking closely at the wording in the ordinance. So anyway, all right, any other questions or comments? Okay, at 7:07, the EAC meeting for August 4th, 2025 is officially closed. So Jasper, thank you very much for your attendance, okay?
Thank you so much. I learned a
right.
lot today. I have like one more question. Is that okay?
Sure, of course.
Sorry.
Wait, we're still on we're still on record.
Still on? Okay. Part of what I talked about when I met with Mr. Kratzer was the tap water quality. And I pulled up the EWG guideline of like, the water quality in Lower Makefield. I noticed that there was the haloacetic acid content in our tap water is like 683 times over the guideline and the legal limit. Also, PFOAs are 53 times over that limit. And yeah, I mean, I didn't really know what these chemicals were, and I looked them up, and there's like, risks to reproductive health and, endocrine disruptors and stuff like that. And I don't know, as someone who's grown up in Lower Makefield Township and like, there's people who have lived their entire lives in Lower Makefield Township, that was, relatively concerning. What steps like are there to take in order to change that? Because I remember I talked to Mr. Kratzer and he said that like the way it works is there has to be something done by, I want to say it's 2027. He said that, sorry, one second. Let me, they have until 2027 to share results that are within the legal limits. Do you guys have any insight into what that looks like and how to go about that?
Myself, no. Personally, I know PFAs are a huge issue actually all over the United States now. And it really started at one of our military bases, in Bucks County several years ago. So, but I'm far from an expert. Anybody else have any comments on that?
I just had one clarification question. Is this the tap water or the groundwater?
This is the tap water.
There are
The
tests.
filtration facility should be addressing that, right?
Yeah.
There are tests for the moment for zinc and lead in tap water. We had to supply a sample of, and we should have the results soon, but nothing on PFAS or microplastics for the drip.
Yeah, the PFAS treatment is just something that I think a lot of water companies are dealing with, and they had to give them time in order to find a treatment technology that was I previously worked for a company that did PFAS treatment, and it was a pretty intense process. And so when you're treating that quantity of water, it's going to take a while for them to come up with this technology. But I think they're also still working on what's a true guideline number, and they're still ferreting that out.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I understand that like most of these chemicals are kind of come from organic material that's like, to my understanding, organic material that's mixed with the chemicals that they're using to clean it. So like, I guess it's cleaner than completely non-cleaned water, but I don't know, the chemicals are still there. And yeah,
It's PFAS is the forever chemical.
concerning. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's,
You want to watch a good movie, watch The Devil We Know.
Devil we know. Okay.
I
And
have-
Dark Waters is another one.
Yeah,
I
have-
watched, what's it called? Aaron Brockovich.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah,
That one's good.
great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Devil We Know is about DuPont and the PFAS.
Okay.
I have a suggestion though. Why don't you call the water company and just tell them that
Yeah, I keep getting notices.
you found these
Yeah.
numbers and
Yeah.
can you help me? What does this mean?
Yeah, I get notices from my water comes from, Morrisville Municipal Services,
Mhm.
Authority rather.
Yeah.
And they keep giving notices about the halogen chemicals you mentioned.
Yeah.
And that explained to me was when they chlorinate the water, any organic material in there gets turned into that chemical and use it to kill the bacteria. So you're dealing with one problem, you're solving, causing another one. But
Yeah, it's
they
confusing.
don't want to go to a tertiary level of treatment, which is activated carbon. And that costs more money and takes more time.
Right.
That's part of the problem.
Yeah. The only solution that I've seen like from researching stuff is like having a reverse osmosis filter, but I'm not even sure if that
Does,
it's like almost everything. Yeah.
yes. It's a,
What?
it was a mix of carbon and activated, it was activated carbon and reverse osmosis that we used
Okay.
to treat it.
Yeah.
But it was a much smaller scale.
Mm.
Like doing that for a whole water supply system is a much bigger effort.
Yeah. Personally, I just like, you can buy one for your house that I was
Yeah.
kind of thinking about doing.
Okay, well, look, thank you again for
Yeah,
your
thanks for
attendance
being out.
and,
Of course.
good luck in your future endeavors.
Thank you very much.
All right, and we meet here second Thursday of every month at 6:00. So if you're bumming around the next time and don't have anything to do, just come join us. okay?
Absolutely. I'll try my best. Thank you.
Everybody in person.
We eventually need a poster for the plastic.